Welcome to the Marin Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. And now I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter from the University of British Columbia. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for taking the time to learn more about the University of British Columbia. My name is Laura Thompson and I'm an international student recruiter and advisor. You can see my contact information on the screen. And I'm just going to get started. I do want to say, if you have questions, I will respond to them after in the chat, after my first 6 minutes is up. All right, let's get going. So when we're talking about the University of British Columbia, there are three key things we want to highlight, and that will be the academic excellence that goes on our campuses, our two beautiful campus locations, and of course that we have active learning opportunities that are outside of the classroom. Out of 25,000 universities in the world, it is no wonder that UBC is consistently ranked among the top 40 research universities in the world, top 25 public universities in the world, and top 3 in Canada. These rankings are definitely due to the student to professor ratio of 15:1, the access to undergraduate research, the guaranteed office hours by professors, and the international student body. And speaking of that international student body, one thing that really stands out is the community of expert faculty and staff that call UBC home. We are one of the most international universities in North America, with over 18,000 international students from 166 countries. Now, when we're thinking about UBC, we do want to mention that we have two beautiful campuses, one in Vancouver and one in Kelowna. Now, our Vancouver campus is our larger campus, as you can see on the screen, and our Okanagan campus is more mid-sized with 9,000 students. No matter what campus you pick, though, you get the same UBC degree that is recognized worldwide. You can see on a map here just where the campuses are located in comparison to California. It's roughly a 3-hour flight from San Francisco. And starting off with the city of Vancouver, it's home to about 2.5 million people. And here you can run through the forest, ski local hills, and wander through galleries or museums all in the same day. It is one of the warmest cities in Canada, where you'd see typically rain in the winter, but very temperate summers. So not that typical snow that you see in many other places in Canada. Now, our Vancouver campus is located 20 minutes from Vancouver City Centre, so it's a suburban campus. The aerial shot, you can see it quite well, and it is surrounded by the Pacific Ocean and a rainforest, which is a location like none other. UBC's Vancouver campus is located on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Musqueam people and is home to just over 45,000 undergrads, so it is a large campus. Now, our campuses are separated by about a 1-hour flight or 4-hour drive, so you do pick one campus for the duration of your degree. And Kelowna is a mid-sized city, which is surrounded by rolling hills and lakes. It's perfect for skiing, biking. It is one of the fastest growing cities in BC. It is home to roughly 200,000 people and has 4 distinct seasons. So here you get the true Canadian weather of cold winters with snow, hot summers, and temperate springs and falls. The Okanagan campus is located in the territory of the Syilx Okanagan Nation, and it's about 20 minutes from the Kelowna City Centre, so also a suburban campus. It's home to roughly 9,000 undergrads, so it's more of a mid-sized campus. It has that close-knit community feel, small class sizes, and no matter what campus you're picking, you're going to have guaranteed first-year housing. So we have a May 1st application deadline to apply to housing. It is not mandatory to live on campus, but it is guaranteed for your first year, and 70% of our rooms are single rooms. Now, we do have a lot of opportunities to pursue your interests beyond the classroom. Because we're a large public school, we have basically everything you can really think of, whether that might be cooperative education, which is paid work experiences. We also offer undergraduate research, over 350 student-run clubs. Varsity sports are an option, or study abroad. I definitely encourage researching more into those opportunities. Now, we are a large school and we do have a lot of different programs to choose from, over 42 bachelor programs and 261 majors. Now, you cannot apply undeclared or undecided at UBC. You must apply into a bachelor degree. This is a general program. You have 2 program choices on the application, and you can apply to 2 programs on one campus or 1 program on each campus. You do not select a major on the application. Instead, you just have that general bachelor degree program that you're picking, and you get 2. And a good example would be the Bachelor of Commerce or Bachelor of Science. In year 2, you will declare your major sometimes in year 3. Now, the second step, you'll notice the January 15th application deadline. UBC is not an early action or early decision school, and we are not on the Common App. You apply directly through UBC, yu.ubc.ca, and have until January 15th to apply. You have until March 15th to submit your mid-year transcripts, and these can be submitted electronically this year. Now, the American curriculum, given that many of you are studying that, you can see we want to see that you graduate high school, complete English and math to junior and senior levels. We do have degree-specific requirements depending on what programs you're applying into, and we grant transfer credit. And the most popular question we've heard this year is UBC test optional. It is for the 2021 intake. What do we look for on the application? It will be primarily academics and some personal profile supplementary information. Here's a brief summary of your costs, roughly $42,000 for a total cost of attendance, or $44,000. And we do offer scholarships and awards, but we do not offer financial aid. And I do recommend reading more about those options. FAFSA loans are able to be used at UBC. I'm going to wrap it up to keep you under the 6 minutes, but any other questions, please send in the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from Carleton University.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm just gonna get going here. So welcome, my name is Carly Glantz and I am the National Recruitment Advisor here at Carleton University. Carleton is located in Ottawa, Ontario, so the nation's capital of Canada. And I want to introduce you to our campus here that you can see on the screen. So Carleton's located right in the center of the city of Ottawa. We're about 15 minutes from the downtown core and 15 minutes from the Ottawa International Airport. And everything that you see on that enclosed campus there is part of the Carleton University community. Ottawa as itself as a city is home to national museums, galleries, over 130 embassies and high commissions, over 1,900 high-tech firms, making it a super unique place to study and grow and learn and connect with others. Now, one of my favorite things about our campus is actually something that you can't see, and that's the over 5 kilometers of underground tunnels that connect every single building on campus. So if you're not used to those snowy winters, or if it's a particularly rainy day, you can actually take our underground tunnels right from your residence room to class, to athletics, to the library. And it also makes us one of the most accessible campuses in North America, which is something that we are super proud of. Tons of growth on our campus. So we have some brand new buildings, brand new health science building for those students interested in health science or neuroscience and mental health. And we also have a brand new home to our Sprott School of Business if you're interested in the world of commerce or international business. Now you can see our campus here is enclosed by 2 bodies of water. So we have the Rideau River and the Rideau Canal there on your left. And a really cool thing is that the Rideau Canal actually freezes in the winter to become the world's largest ice skating rink. So you can actually skate right from our campus to downtown to the Parliament Hill, so our government buildings down in the city center. And I would highly recommend grabbing a hot chocolate or a beaver tail, which is our signature pastry along the way. So lots of awesome things to explore at Carleton and in the nation's capital. Now at Carleton, we have 5 faculties. So those are 5 kind of academic houses that house all of our programs at Carleton. So we have the Faculty of Engineering and Design, our Faculty of Science, Faculty of Public Affairs, Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, and our Sprott School of Business. So lots of awesome academic opportunities for you to kind of dip your toes into. Now, I also want to briefly touch on scholarships. So at Carleton, we have some super generous entrance scholarships that international students are eligible for as well. Our entrance scholarships start at 80%. So if you're entering Carleton with an average of 80% or higher, you're going to automatically get some money from us. And those are automatic. So when you apply to a program, you're actually automatically going to be considered for those scholarships at Carleton. And they range from $1,000 a year all the way to $4,000 a year. I also want to note that residence is guaranteed to all first-year students. So every incoming first-year student is guaranteed residence at Carleton. We have 11 residence buildings. They're all on campus, and 9 of them are actually designated to first-year students, which is awesome because when you make friends in your classes, you can be guaranteed that they're going to live in that same community. Now, the CAF at Carleton is also included in your residence, and we think it's pretty special that our CAF has an all-you-can-eat or all-access meal plan. So what that means is you're really in control. You can go in and out of the CAF as many times a day and eat as much or as little as you like with all of our fresh food that we offer there right in the residence community. I also want to talk a little bit about that picture in the middle that always gets everyone smiling. So we have an awesome therapy dog program. So if you are leaving a puppy behind next fall, don't worry. We have our therapy dogs that roam around campus. They have their own office hours, and they will definitely put a smile on your face throughout your time at Carleton. I also want to talk about the over 350 clubs and societies that we offer. So community is a huge word that we emphasize here at Carleton, and there's a ton of different ways for you to get involved in different things that you're interested in. So whether that's through an academic society, whether you want to get involved in our Quidditch team, Model UN, there's really something for everyone. And we encourage all of our future students to get involved in the Carleton community. I also want to mention some different ways that you can connect with us this fall. So all of these fairs are amazing. We also offer general presentations. So if you are interested in Carleton, you're interested in studying in the nation's capital here in Ottawa, definitely check out one of our general presentations. And you can find that on our events website. I also want to plug that we have our virtual fall open house coming up. The first one is actually this Saturday. So if this has piqued your interest at all, you might want to check that out. This Saturday, we are spotlighting our Sprott School of Business, as well as our Faculty of Engineering and Design. And then on November 7th, we're going to be highlighting our Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, Public Affairs, as well as our Faculty of Science. So definitely encourage you to check those out if you are interested in studying at Carleton. That's our admissions website there, admissions.carleton.ca. And that's where you're going to find all of the information about upcoming events and how to get in contact with us and all of the amazing things that Carleton has to offer. And with that, I will pass it on to the next school. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from Queen's University, and just a reminder to send in any of the Q&A questions that you have.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm just going to share my screen here. Okay. Well, hello, my name is Nathan, and I am excited to be with you today and to have the opportunity to talk to you more about Queen's University. So we are in Canada. We are in the beautiful historic waterfront city of Kingston, Ontario. That's just north on the northeastern shore of Lake Ontario. And by Canadian standards, Queen's is a mid-sized university, but probably larger when I tell you that it is 24,000 students in total, 18,000 of those being undergraduate students. Now, Queen's holds a significant place in our country's history. In fact, Queen's was founded in 1841, 26 years before Canadian Confederation. So we have well over 176 years of experience educating future leaders from around the world. And although we are a university with lots of fun traditions, what continues to make Queen's one of the best universities in Canada is its continued commitment to innovation, research, teaching, and student support. So we want you to know that at Queen's, yes, you will be challenged, but you will be but while you're being challenged, we will be there with an amazing array of services and supports. And if you embrace the challenge and take advantage of all the supports that we offer, then we know that you will succeed. One prime example of a support tool that is available to you right now would be the major maps. If you were to go to Queen's website and type in major maps into our search function, you would eventually find a list of major maps, literally maps of every major or program at Queen's. And they've been created by our Career Services Office. Each map has some incredibly useful content like a great description of the program or major, what key courses to take in each year to keep you on track, how to get connected on campus, how to get real world experience, how to prepare for life after graduation, even a list of careers that graduates have gone into post their degree. So no matter what you choose to study at Queen's, you can make your degree as unique as you are. You can choose courses from astrophysics to Latin, from commerce to history. You'll get to take advantage of instructional styles such as blended learning, or integrating face-to-face learning with online learning, or a flipped classroom. And you'll be able to engage with world-class professors and learning from those professors in innovative teaching spaces. So there is something for everyone at Queen's, and the opportunities to get relevant experience go well beyond the classroom. Everything from maybe athletics or perhaps a club. We have more clubs than we know what to do with. To complement and fill out your degree, maybe engage in something that you're really interested in that you hadn't thought of before. There's also summer work experience opportunities such as on-campus research or maybe an entrepreneurial opportunity. And then there are also internships, which are available to students in almost every faculty. With 12 to 16 months working in your field of specialization, you get the opportunity to gain real-world experience, make a real difference, and build your resume. Many of the internships are even paid, with the average salary for a student being around $43,000 for the year. And of course, throughout your time at Queen's, we will encourage you to start thinking globally because we live in a global community and we engage in a global marketplace. So consider taking advantage of an exchange or study abroad opportunity with one of the numerous international university partners that we have around the world. Or maybe you would like to spend a semester at our castle in East Sussex, the International Studies Center, the Bader International Studies Center. It's in England, and it serves as our international campus. And yes, that is a 15th century castle. See, Queen's attracts some of the best undergraduate students from across Canada and from around the world. And a 94.6% retention rate, meaning the percentage of students who start and then continue on in their studies, proves that we take our promise to support our students seriously. Not only do our students make successful adjustment to university life, they continue to significantly outperform the average when it comes to progressing through their studies and graduating on time. And with a 91% employment rate 6 months after graduation, our graduates move into the marketplace as very sought after and employable professionals. Queen's is a comprehensive university with program offerings ranging from applied sciences to social sciences, from humanities to the creative arts. So chances are we have the program you're looking for. And once you've identified the program that you're looking for, you can either go on to OUAC, that's the Ontario University Application Center, or you can find us on the Common App. So thank you so much for listening to me share a little bit about Queen's. And remember, you're going to do great no matter where you go. We just believe that your greatest story starts at Queen's. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from Duke Kunshan University.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Parker, and I am a Global Recruitment Officer with Duke Kunshan University, which is Duke University's new joint venture university in China. Essentially, what we're offering is a Duke Education 2.0 taught in English in China to top international students from all around the world. We are a joint venture university between 3 partners. The first one, as you may have guessed, is Duke University, which year to year is often ranked in the US top 10 best colleges and universities and the worldwide top 20. So it's one of the top universities in the world. Our second university partner is Wuhan University, which is one of China's top 10. Our third partner is the city of Kunshan, which I will show you in the next slide. Our students study on both campuses in the US and China, and they graduate earning 2 degrees, the Chinese degree from Duke Kunshan University and the US bachelor's degree from Duke. This is an aerial view of the city of Kunshan. It is one of the greenest and wealthiest cities per capita in China, Marin, similar to Silicon Valley in the US. From here, it's about 20 minutes to Shanghai, which is one of the biggest and most international cities in the entire world. We are also close to Zhejiang and some of China's historic water towns, which is a great place our students love to visit. Our students can also spend part of the junior year, typically either a fall or a spring semester, at Duke University in North Carolina, taking a sampling of the courses that Duke has to offer. They also have the option to add on a summer term if they would like. And the power of a dual degree. Upon graduation, they are earning both degrees from both universities. We are a global university. We are an American-style, research-oriented liberal arts and sciences university that is taking an innovative, practical, and global approach to higher education, preparing our students to go global with their careers and approach some of our biggest and most challenging world problems. This is a quick look at our interdisciplinary majors, and they are all dual majors that have been pre-packaged to go together, similar to double majors. We also have an innovative 7-week mini-master schedule where our students take just 2 or 2.5 classes at a time. We also have an innovative course week where Monday through Thursday is dedicated to learning inside the classroom, and Fridays are dedicated to experiential learning outside of the classroom. So that can be clubs, sports, and activities. It can be field trips to explore different parts of China, internships, research, or maybe just taking a 3-day weekend to have fun in Shanghai or go take a vacation in Southeast Asia. We are aiming for a demographic split of about 60% Chinese nationals and 40% international. We currently have over 50 different countries and nationalities represented on campus. We have some of the most beautiful student residences I've ever seen at any university, and housing is guaranteed for our students to be university operated housing for all 4 years. We are looking for students who really want to be influencers and change makers, who are passionate and adventurous and hopefully fascinated with China and the rest of the world. Over 80% of our US and international students have been receiving reduced tuition through scholarships and financial aid. There's nothing extra to do to apply for merit-based scholarships. Whoops. Our biggest awards do cover up to 100% of tuition for all 4 years, so they can be quite generous. We are on the Common App, and we are test optional this year. This is our QR code if you would like to look at our calendar of events to sign up for the full-length info session, or if you would like to take a student-led campus tour online. So thank you so much for your time, and I will hand it off to the next presenter.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from the University of Glasgow.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ashley Sabajian, and I am the Senior International Officer for the University of Glasgow. I'm based down in Southern California, and I act as a local point of contact for students in the west of US. The University of Glasgow was founded in 1451. We're amongst the ancient universities in the UK, so we're the fourth oldest institution in the English-speaking world. We have a student population of around 29,000 students, but what's really cool about that is our students are actually made up of over 140 nationalities. So when you're studying on campus at the University of Glasgow, you're going to have a very global experience. You'll meet people from all parts of the world, all walks of life. It's a very diverse campus. Most of our degrees are 4 years in length, and they offer both flexibility and choice for students. So when you're thinking about studying overseas, it's important to, yes, of course, match the university and the academic life to something you can see yourself really diving into. But you have to really think about whether or not you can see yourself living in that country for the duration of your degree. Scotland's great for a student with a sense of adventure. It was voted the most beautiful country in the world by Rough Guides in 2019. I did my undergrad in Scotland. I ended up living there for 12 years. You couldn't get me out of the place. It's a very welcoming and friendly country. And I can attest you don't have to go far to see scenery like what's in this picture. So in fact, this is Loch Lomond, about 40 minutes away from our campus. So our students love traveling, they love getting outdoors, but of course there's a ton of culture and history to take in as well if you're studying and living in Scotland. Glasgow is the largest city in Scotland. It has a total population of about 1 million people if you include the suburbs and the sprawl of the city, but right in the city center, it's actually more closer to around 600,000 people. There's 3 universities and 3 colleges all located within the city. And I've already said how large our student population is. So you can imagine how many students there are in the city. It's a very student-friendly place. It's a really safe city. There's also great public transportation. So there's a subway system, there's a rail and bus network as well. But whenever I'm in Glasgow, I always get by on foot. So it's great for walking around as well. Glasgow is a UNESCO City of Music. And on average, there's 150 music events that take place across the city every week. And we have the second busiest arena venue in the world, which is the Hydro, which is the building that's all lit up in this image here. Our campus is located in the west end of the city, which you can think of a neighborhood within the city. So we're located about a 10-minute subway ride away from the city center. Glasgow's West End is a quieter, more laid back part of the city. It's full of cobbled streets, beautiful architecture, and this is where our students will live. So our campus is located in between, we have the Botanic Gardens on one side and the Kelvin Grove Park on the other. This picture is of a small alleyway near our main campus building called Ashton Lane. On one end, you have the subway entrance, and on the other end, you have our campus entrance. So students actually go to Ashton Lane to eat and hang out in between or after classes. In terms of what you can study, business management, computing sciences, engineering, and psychology are amongst some of our most popular degrees, but we actually have over 300 degree combinations. So there's a lot of choice. There's a lot of joint major options as well. So you do have the opportunity to tailor your degree. If you've been looking at studying in the UK, you might have noticed there's a degree structure difference. So in Scotland, our degrees are 4 years in length, but there are no general education or core curriculum requirements. So you do study your major from day one. When you submit your application, you do declare your major. But that doesn't mean that there's no flexibility. You are able to change within to a certain extent, and you can explore other areas from outside of your degree areas more. as well. So please do ask me more about that. In terms of entry requirements, we do look at the US curriculum. Traditionally, we are very academic focused when it comes to entry requirements. It would depend on the major you were applying for, but we are for the first time this year going test optional. So you can apply with any three of either the SAT, AP, ACT, or SAT subject tests. But if you've had any issues with access to testing and you're concerned about not having the test required, you can actually go test optional this year. We're still going to maintain an academic focus by using your high school transcripts. And we're just going to look to see that you have challenged yourself throughout your high school experience and you've maintained higher than a 3.0 GPA, and you've been taking honors or AP or dual enrollment, etc. Again, feel free to ask me about that because it's going to depend on your major. Students can apply through either UCAS or the Common App. Our application deadline is January 15th for equal consideration. After that, we do switch to rolling admissions, so you can continue to submit an application all the way up until the 30th of June. We do accept US federal loans as well as the GI Bill, and students are automatically assessed for our merit-based scholarships. So thank you very much for your time. Again, my name's Ashley Savajan. My email address is right there. Feel free to grab a picture and keep in touch.
Thank you. Lastly, we'll be hearing from Richmond, the American International University in London. So send in your Q&A questions.
Hi, everybody. All right, let me share with you all. Oh, I guess I should share myself first. All right, well, I'll start anyway. Hi, so we are Richmond, the American International University in London. First of all, I think it's just awesome that you're all here. What a cool group that we've got here. Just so you know a little bit about the American International System. So basically what that means is it's kind of, there's a number of American international schools all around different countries in the world, kind of telling you that we're following that American style of education with the general education first year, and then international meaning it's a concept that, you know, you could travel from one international school to another and kind of stay on track with your studies. Let's get started. So here are some of our undergraduate programs here. We have our business school. Feel free to kind of browse through that. And if you have any questions about any specific programs, be happy to answer any questions you may have there. And one more, and then feel free to also take a look here. These are the School of Communications, Art, and Social Sciences. I myself am a graduate of Richmond, so happy to answer any questions as well about the student experience. I can tell that you're already curious and thinking about leaving the country, and I think we can all support that here. So why Richmond? Richmond is the only university, we say in the UK, that offers both US and UK degrees, but only university in the world that offers UK and US degrees. The couple characteristics about us: we have very small class sizes. You get to know your professors, they get to know you, which is great if you, you know, need any recommendations in the future or anything like that. They actually know who you are. We have on-campus accommodation available as well, so that's always an option. We have more dormitory style housing as well as more flat or apartment style housing, so there's that option. I find it funny always when we talk about study abroad opportunities, because you're kind of already studying abroad, but you can study abroad again. If you want to study elsewhere in the world, you can always return back to the US for a semester. There's a number of options there. Of course, we have an international student body. I work in our Boston US admissions office, and we're responsible for about 25% of the student population, and then the rest is the rest of the world. So it's you know, I've made friends all over the world. It's a pretty, you know, incredible opportunity. As well, we have the opportunity for internships, kind of similar to the study abroad. If you want to intern, you can do it in the UK, you can go elsewhere, you can come back to the States. There definitely are a lot of options there. We offer merit-based scholarships. All of our applicants are considered for those scholarships. You do not have to do anything, anything additional to your application. That's all just part of the process, as well as the high contact hours. Like I said, that kind of goes along with the small class sizes. So you do, get that time with your professors. We don't have teacher assistants or anything like that. And then finally, of course, your personal academic advisor to kind of help you, guide you on your path along the way. The big question, why London? I mean, why not London, I think is the better question. But there's a number of reasons. It's considered the social, cultural, and political capital of the world. It's an incredible melting pot. And as well, it's been voted the world's #1 international student city, and I can totally attest to that. It's incredibly student friendly. We always like to say, because we are a small school, if there's something, if there's some kind of club or society or something that, we don't have at Richmond, you can definitely find it in the City of London. If you can't find it in the City of London, you can't find it anywhere. So yeah, there's some shots there of everything going on in London, and then internships, to hit on that a little bit more. So in order to intern, you have to have about a 3.0, a B average, and be in your 3rd year. And they range from 8 to 10 weeks. And then you have that option. You can do it in the fall, the spring, the summer. These are just a few examples of some different organizations that you can intern with in London, Europe, Asia, North and South America. But of course, if you know of another internship, we can always connect you with our office of, of internships and careers and help you find a program that would work for you. Here are clubs and societies that we have. Feel free to kind of review those. But as well, Richmond is super supportive of students that want to start clubs. So if you are interested in doing that, you can just, the Student Affairs Department is super supportive of students starting new clubs and things like that. And any passions that you want to share, you just need a few fellow students to get it off the ground. Here are entry requirements. So it's pretty simple. We look at your transcripts, your letter of reference, personal statement. We are test optional. We've always been test optional. So feel free to submit, if you have any of those ACT, SAT, feel free to submit them. If you don't, do not worry about it. We do look at everything else as well. Here's my contact information. Sorry, don't get confused with my name. Victoria Taylor. I work, I'm the Assistant Manager of Operations, and I'm located in our Boston admissions office. So that's another, another thing that I'm, nearby and in the neighborhood. And happy to talk. And thank you very much for listening. I will give up the screen here.
Thank you. So we do have a bit of extra time. So if you have any Q&A questions, go ahead and submit those now. I'm just going to ask everyone to share their favorite tradition that happens on their campus, and we can go in the same order you presented, and everyone can take like 30 to 45 seconds to respond. So we can start with the University of British Columbia.
Absolutely. I would probably have to speak to one of the traditions on our Vancouver campus. So every spring, the UBC Vancouver campus hosts one of the biggest intramural events in all of North America, and it's called Storm the Wall. So what this event is, it combines 3 elements of a triathlon with kind of an extra twist. So there's swimming, sprinting, biking, and running. But then at the end of the race, there's a 12-foot wall that you have to climb over. And so teams work together and they send a member to each specific activity, and then everyone gets over the wall together. It's definitely a way for students to come together from different groups. It's a lot of fun. Our own president of the university does it. I participated in it when I was a student myself. So definitely a great way to bring students together at UBC.
Cool. So I guess I'll go next. So again, Carly from Carleton. My favorite tradition at Carleton is something called the Panda Game. So the Panda Game is a football game that takes place between Carleton and our crosstown sports rivals at University of Ottawa. And it takes place at our professional football stadium. So it's a really amazing event that happens every fall. It's kind of on our home turf. It's closer to the Carleton University campus. So everyone gets together to cheer on our football team. And even if you're not super into athletics or sports, it's always fun to bring home that big silver panda trophy, which doesn't seem to have much relevance to anything about Ottawa or Carleton, but it's something that we are very proud to host, and we usually win, so that makes it extra fun. But yeah, the panda game would be my favorite tradition at Carleton.
Okay, well, let's see. There's a lot of traditions to choose from at Queen's, but maybe one of the funnest things I find is that when you're at Queen's, but Kingston is Queen's and Queen's is Kingston as far as the city that we're in. And so really, we're very close to historic downtown. In the spring and in the fall, when you're first there or getting ready to leave as a student during the academic year, you can walk 10 minutes to the historic downtown and you walk right into a farmer's market that's right behind uh, the main buildings in downtown Kingston, the old historic buildings. And then in the wintertime, that farmer's market is still active. It just turns into a huge open, very well taken care of skating rink. So whether you're grabbing some fresh fruits and vegetables and just enjoying the outdoor during the warm months, or in the wintertime, taking your skates or borrowing a pair if you never had any, and heading down, enjoying a beaver tail, hot chocolate, and skating on an open rink. So some of my favorite traditions at Queen's.
Well, Duke Kunshan University is still so new. We're still working on attracting our students for the very first few years. So one of my favorite things is, so far in a typical year, if you apply to Duke Kunshan University and you get accepted, we have been flying our international admits to China in late April to have like a 4-day weekend to tour campus, tour the local area, take sample classes, and basically just have time to feel like, does this feel like a good fit for me before it's time to decide which university you are going to commit to for the next several years of your life. And so, you know, fingers crossed that, you know, international travel is able to open up again in the spring or very soon, so we can start that tradition up again.
Yeah, for the University of Glasgow, I think one of my favorites is during our Freshers Week, when we welcome all of our students on campus. There's a set international student series event, welcome events, and one of them is traditional Scottish ceilidh dancing. So there's this big dance night, and basically our international students don't know exactly what they've just got themselves into, but it's essentially Scottish country dancing, and it's so much fun. And yeah, all of our students really love it. So it's a great way for them to dive in straight away into something that's such a big part of the Scottish culture.
Hi. Yeah, I would say my favorite event is probably International Night. It's kind of like, I guess a talent show is the closest way to describe it, but it's with all the students sharing their cultural backgrounds and different performances, whether it's kind of, you know, singing something, you know, from wherever they're from, or some kind of dance performance, or it's a really interesting way to sometimes see your classmates in a different light than you normally would. And it's just something we look forward to all year long.
Awesome. So thank you all so much for presenting, and thank you for joining us. When you go to close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to check out the full sign up for additional sessions. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of the other sessions recordings, online at the same website where you registered. So thank you all, and bye everyone.